Hello everyone, in today's video I'll be going over some games I had here on last Saturday. This is being recorded on Thursday, the 6th of March. It was quite some fun games I had in a youth tournament against children. I came in very late to the tournament, so I'm playing people who are a bit lower rated than me. So I was the favorite going into things, but that happens. So in the first game, it was against Child 1. So I've decided to keep them anonymous. I started out just playing d4. I'm going after d5, e4. I'm now in my signature opening, the one I played the most, and the one that was taught to me. Bishop f5 is a book move. I play f3, e takes f3, and now I play a slightly inaccurate move, which is knight takes f3. F3. Now this is just because in this opening I'm on autopilot. I know most of these moves. Knight takes isn't a bad move. It's slightly better to bring out the queen because he might have to go bishop back or sacrifice the pawn on b7. But I decided to just take the knight because it feels good. Knight to c6, and here I immediately just play bishop b5. Now, I did think of d5, but I felt like there might be too much he could get from it. So I played bishop b5 because I saw a very nice line here. After a6, b5, and knight e5. Like, this just looked very comfortable for me. But then, right after knight a5, I started thinking. I actually started thinking because I noticed that I had a very interesting move. I can play bishop takes f7. Now it's an inaccuracy, it's not what the computer wanted, but you know what? Screw the computer. Screw it. This felt very good because I bring out the king, then I play knight d5, and then I play this, which is so strong. I'm putting pressure on the rook and I'm putting pressure on the bishop. He plays g6, which is an inaccuracy, and here I should play g4. I should just play g4 here. No thought, g4. Attack the bishop. After g4, let's say he plays bishop e6. I have d5, and the bishop has to be given up for this pawn. He can't do anything about it. He has to give it up from this pawn. After this move, the computer actually just says to sacrifice the bishop. Don't remember quite which way it said. Okay, c6. Sacrificing this bishop. And then you don't take it back like this. You take this pawn. And now you're in a very wrong position. After something like bishop f4. You play bishop h6. And then knight to e2. And now you just have to question if you want to take this and allow castles, or if you just want to get out somewhere. We didn't go into this because I played b4, which I thought was very smart. I thought b4 was very smart because this knight really doesn't have anywhere comfortable to go because of this check. And you have a draw chance here as black. You can play the brilliant move c6. Giving up this because you play rook here. You can also just play rook here immediately and then go c6, but computer at the time really liked c6 and thought it as a brilliant move. It really doesn't like e6 though. E6 gives me this for free because now after c6 it's just free. So now you can't play c6, so you can't win back this pawn, and this pawn is never really under any threat because I'm attacking this rook. And he plays b4. b4 is a mistake because now I give this check, king here, and I need to play knight d5 here. Such a beautiful move. Knight d5 is so beautiful because if you take it like this, you can mate it over here with a bishop takes, because this knight is blocking off here, the queen's blocking off here, and the queen's blocking off like this, and that's mate. But what about if you take with a queen? Well, then I take this pawn, I go here, I take this, I go here, you have to play knight here to defend the rook, and now I win back my interest. and I get a full piece back, so that's beautiful. But I instead played knight e4, which just looks safer. Now, if I've looked at knight, I could have probably found knight d5 if I was using my time there, but I didn't. And I just thought, this looks smart, this looks natural, I'll play it. Then he plays knight f6. And here I just decided to take the knight, because I saw an immediate threat. Because after king takes, you play the beautiful bishop g5. And you're just winning the queen here. You can't stop me from taking the queen, because if you take the bishop, I go knight f7, and I pick up the queen. And if you don't take the bishop, I just take the queen. Which is why it's better to take the bishop, because then you get 2 pieces for the queen instead of 1. I take this free pawn over here, and he takes this pawn. I castle, and he goes rook here. There's actually a very brilliant draw chance here. After I play g4. You can play bishop check, king here, bishop here, and if I take it, you take back, and suddenly it's draw. It's a draw. Because I have to stop checkmate, but for that, you play like this, and I can't stop you from checking. I just can't stop you from checking all this, and then it's a draw by perpetual. But he played rook d5, and I just take it. He takes back here, I play rook here, putting pressure on this pawn. He gets a check, I play king h1. He plays rook here, I move the queen here, because I want to threaten this. At the same time, inducing him to play this. I go back, he goes back, I go check, and he goes to the wrong square, giving me this trade, and then I just play queen f6. He basically has to block with a bishop here. Because he doesn't want to trade rooks. I give a pin, threatening checkmate. I take with check. I give a check. I take this pawn. He plays here, and I decide I have this very strong a pawn. I'm just gonna make it simpler. Simplification. I play a6, and he resigned. So beautiful first game by me. Bishop g5 is very, very nice. It's a very simple tactic, but it's a beautiful tactic nonetheless. And yeah, just very good first game. Now let's move on to the second game. In this one, I was playing black, and he brought out e4, e5, and he plays f4. And already, I'm gonna throw it out for a loop. I'm gonna throw all theory out the window. C5. This is the mafia defense. I know it quite well. White does get an advantage here if he plays right. If he plays knight here, or pawn here, he gets out to a very comfortable spot. But he took it. He took the center pawn, which allowed queen h4 check, g3, queen takes c4, I pick up the rook. Here plays queen g2, just trading it off. I play knight out, he takes. I take back this way to open up the scope for my bishop, because I know he's going to want to cancel that way now. He plays knight here, I put the bishop here, and he plays king here. I play c4, he plays d3, and I bring out the bishop with a check. He plays here, I take the knight. He should take this bishop, because otherwise he's losing pawns, but he didn't. And I pick up a pawn, I pick up a pawn, we trade a bishop, I castle, he plays rook here, I play knight f6, and here he resigns. Because he's just down a piece. He's down a full rook. There's nothing more about it. Positionally, he should be fine, but it's just the fact that I have an extra rook. Like, there isn't really anything for me to exploit in his position. The problem is I can always bring another piece. So, that was a good second game, where he just made an early blunder, allowing me to just absolutely take over the game. And I'm of course gonna just convert this, because I have an hour on the clock, and I'm in my theory. Here I considered taking this, just to damage the structure a bit, but I decided to just take the free pawn instead. And then he allowed me to damage struck this way. And he just didn't want to play this out because he can't do anything. Let's go on to the third game I had. Also played at a 90 accuracy. So I played d4, d5, e4, e takes d4. I played knight c3, knight f6. If this is all fury. h3 is the best move. Bishop takes, queen takes. And here he immediately blunders and he takes this free pawn. Where I just immediately trap his rook after. And then he plays knight e4. Which gives me a free knight. He decides to play on e6. Queen takes a8. He decides to threaten some stuff down here. Which actually isn't threatened. I take a knight. I take a pawn. And I decide to take the bishop with the queen. Because I want to keep his king locked down. He of course takes back one knight. I bring out the bishop. And I'm simply threatening to checkmate him here. So he walks directly into a checkmate. By going king here instead of f6 or f5. I play check. Here he said, but it's checkmate, right? I said, no, you have one move. And that's this move, and now it's checkmate. The king is blocked off by the queen. And the bishop is given the check, while the rook keeps this eye on the scope. And even if there weren't checkmate here, there's no way I'm going to lose it. I have a bishop, a queen, a bishop, and a rook. And yeah. I have all that for nothing. We have equal pawns. And we each have a rook. So I have a rook, a bishop and queen for nothing. Not to mention I have the better pawn structure. But yeah, those were some very fun games, especially when they run really early on, like with this one and this one. He played completely fine until he took that pawn, and this one it was actually a really good game from my opponent. Even I missed some stuff here where I should not have missed it. Oh yeah, it was knight b4 I was scared of. I was scared of this, so I just didn't want to get into it. I just decided, what if I just don't get into that? With bishop there. But the thing here is, I can still go bishop here. Bishop here is completely fine, in my opinion. But also just knight here. There's nothing you can do. I give up the pawn? Sure. Then you lose the bishop. You have to move the bishop. After you move the bishop, now I can give this check. Right? No, now I kick out the knight. What? It's because now there's this? Ah, and now after this, you can sack the knight. And after this, you take. And he has to give up the queen. You check. Then he loses a knight and a rook. That is a massive attack, goddamn. Yeah, I should keep that in comfort next time. That this isn't actually a free pawn because bishop b5 is just way too strong. But yeah, even this game was really fun, especially since, I mean, I feel like this should also be giving a much higher score than in inaccuracy. Like human play, because I just got this very overwhelming attack very suddenly. Absolutely, this should be giving him a mistake. I absolutely agree, because it may be a crazy draw, but it's a draw nonetheless. It's a crazy draw for sure, but you're never gonna see me look at this position and say a draw. I would look at that position and say it looks playable. I don't particularly enjoy it for black because the black just looks so locked down here. Also, this bishop here is defend this. After you move it, then I put it on the square I actually want. And you just get into a very comfortable position. Yeah, fun games all around. And hope you have a great day. Hope you had a great day. Goodbye.